Guys, I mentioned this may happen. This is an emergency broadcast. The RHONY trailer has dropped, as I predicted on my little mini episode the other day. So I called up Gibson John. He's a host and editor at AOL. He hosts a lot of those videos that you may watch on YouTube. He's interviewed the Summer House cast. Who else? Who have been your favorite interviews?
Recently I did the Schitt's Creek cast.
Oh, yeah.
Housewives in New Jersey on
Ooh,
there,
that's a
which
good
was
one.
Jackie, Margaret, and Melissa together. I did this. I'd done the Summer House cast every year.
Every year. We were just talking. I know that
yeah.
this is going to be like RHONY overload, but we were just talking about how I had never watched a frame of Summer House until literally a week ago. I watched the season 4 premiere and was just like, is this the best show on television?
It's the premiere was a doozy in the best way possible, and the best way we need from every Bravo show.
You were saying how the first couple seasons
Yeah.
of it are like objectively
Not great.
bad.
But they did, after between 2 and 3, they did a big reshuffle, and Paige and Hannah, I think, are the best things that could have ever happened to that show. They bring this like new, different energy to it,
Yeah.
and it's really good. It's
Hannah's
really
going to be
fun.
coming on here.
Oh my God, I love Hannah.
Yeah.
She's so funny, and she's so dynamic, and
Yeah.
I just love her.
Let's get to
Let's
why
go,
the
yeah, let's go to the issue at hand.
Yeah, let's
Come on.
get to the issue at hand. Okay, so we just watched the trailer together.
Yes.
As a family.
As a family.
So this is now collectively, this has been our third time
Yeah, I think I've seen it 3 times now.
watching it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you the floor. I want to hear your initial impressions. Just where are you emotionally?
Well, emotionally before today, there was a yearning in my heart for these New York City ladies. It's my favorite Housewives, just to be clear.
Me too.
And not just because I live in New York. I think it's the most entertaining one. I think your initial kind of expectation for a Housewives trailer is that it's going to be dramatic, and you're going to see promises of huge fights, and there's going to be those like kind of big iconic moments. And New York is slightly different in that it also has this huge comedic element to it. And I think that, I don't know if the trailer necessarily promises a ton of drama so far, but it genuinely made me laugh the first time I watched it. That montage at the end is literally just like makes me so happy. And I was really happy with the trailer. I think that like overall, like we definitely see some Dorinda moments for sure, which we have to have every season.
We're going to get into
We'll get
Dorinda.
into that.
We're going to into
and
Dorinda.
so I think it's not like it's drama free, but it's not like it's like an Atlanta trailer where there's like, a physical confrontation.
Right.
I think that like with New York, like you want to laugh and you want like, I could watch them just like, sitting around a dinner table, like not having a fight and just like laughing with each other. And to me, that's like fun, entertaining television.
Totally.
So overall, I'm really happy with the trailer. And I think also to keep in mind is like, they save a lot of stuff for mid-season trailers these days.
Yes.
So they don't, this isn't necessarily a trailer for the whole season.
That's an amazing point.
So it's like, again, to bring up Atlanta, which is like just one of the current ones that's on right now, they saved a lot of good stuff for that mid-season trailer.
I mean, if you think about Dallas, none of the Leanne stuff.
None of that. Like, and remember when that mid-season trailer came out, it was like, holy shit! Like,
we got something.
This hasn't been hinted at yet.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with it. It makes me excited for the season. It makes me excited for them to come back to my like weekly routine, and I just love them so much.
Here's the question.
Yes.
How soon after watching the trailer, or how many times today, have you thought about Bethenny?
That's actually a really interesting question, because I think if you had asked me that, I actually haven't thought about her today.
Wow.
Which is actually really weird, because I think that if you had asked me that last week, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, like we've been expecting this trailer for a while now, I was kind of like a little bit worried. And I think now that you bring it up, it's like there is a Bethenny sized hole in the cast.
Yeah.
But I think that the other ones bring it enough for us. Mm-hmm. Like, in my opinion, I mean, I love Bethenny. Is like one of my all-time favorites.
Do you think she watched the trailer today? I think she watched it twice.
My heart says yes, but I kind of think she was busy just like Instagram storying from the backseat of her driver's.
Right.
Suburban.
I did not touch down with her Instagram stories.
I didn't either, but we
and
like,
shame
but don't
on
we,
me.
But don't we like know what they look like already? You know what I mean?
No, but I need to see if she reacted
like
to this.
those bars are pretty small.
Yeah.
On the top of your screen.
No, I remember where I was the night Cookie died.
Wow.
I was in the back of a car. I was in an Uber.
Did tears happen?
I was very disturbed at what I was seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that was a moment.
You didn't think it was going to get this
No,
dark,
no,
did
definitely
you?
not. But I think Bethenny tweeted, I think it was just last week when a fan tweeted at her and was like, oh, I want you to come back, blah, blah. And she was like, no, you don't. Like, blah, 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 blah. And I think I'm a little bit I've accepted the fact that she is not there. And I think that's why maybe I didn't think about it as much as I would have guessed today. Yeah. You know, I think her presence will definitely be felt in the season. Like, there's no question.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to mention her at all. I think they will. They've got to. You
think they will?
I think they will. I mean, I know that the first day of shooting was the day
she announced.
She announced.
In Variety,
so
yeah.
I'm curious to see just the overall vibe and temperament among the women. I'm interested in that. And I definitely think it's like they have so many shared experiences.
I know.
They're going to mention in a positive way. They're going to be like, oh, remember when Bethenny, whatever.
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to happen, but it's like kind of disappointing to think about the fact that like, I don't even think Bethenny has even shown up for like one event to film with them. You know what I mean?
Well, why would she?
I don't know.
I don't expect. I
wouldn't expect. I don't expect that, but you know, I think something about New York that I really like is that like they can have all these big fights and they can have these kind of blowouts, but like at the end of the day, I actually think they all like genuinely pretty much like each other.
Totally.
And like a lot of them have been in it together since the very, very beginning, you know, over 10 years ago. So
this is Sonja's 10th season.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. So
I don't know. It's just like a hope that you're just like, oh, like maybe she'll show up for something. But they don't really do that, I guess. But yeah, I think she'll be felt. But I actually don't think they're going to mention it. I think that the fact that she announced on the day that they started filming, I think that probably pissed production off. Mm-hmm. Just like on Atlanta, how they're kind of punishing Nene. I think
so. Maybe even if they did mention it would just.
I think production's like, F that, like we're moving on.
Well, it's possible that even if she was mentioned that day, they're just not gonna. They would edit around it.
I agree. I would assume there's footage of them talking about it.
Yeah.
But I think that.
Oh God.
I don't think that it's going to be addressed in the final edit.
What I would give to see
I
that.
know. Oh my God.
So, my initial thoughts.
Yeah.
Things that come to mind. Number one, no Jill Zarin in the trailer.
True.
She was in the previous 2 years. What I did after I watched this.
Did you go back and watch
a couple
the other
times?
ones?
I watched the season 10 and 11 trailers, which were phenomenal.
Oh my God. I mean, those are amazing seasons of
those
television.
were phenomenal
season
seasons.
10 of New York is like one of my favorite seasons in the past 5 years.
Same.
Yeah.
I think it is like.
I think it's the best. Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah. Other than the classic ones from like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Carole Bethenny fallout with
Mexico.
With Luann. No, Mexico was the year before.
Oh my God.
10 is the year with Carole and Bethenny and Luann's arrest.
Oh, that's also, that's the iconic television. 9 and 10. It was 9 and 10.
Oh, 9 and 10. 9 and 10.
A great back-to-back.
I thought last year was phenomenal.
Yeah, me too.
It gave me everything.
Mm-hmm. But what did you kind of observe from the differences in the trailers? Is that when you really noticed the Bethenny?
It was definitely the lack of Bethenny and the absence of Jill Zarin, who they cameoed.
Right.
Her, and I know that she definitely filmed.
She's definitely been around for filming. I mean, I went to like 3 different filming events, and like she was there at 2 of them.
Oh, which ones were you at?
I was at the Sonia by Sonia Morgan fashion show, which
How
was like
was that?
Towards the beginning, I think, of filming. That was it. I didn't actually stay for the show. I was there for the beginning cocktail hour. You know, I love Sonia so much. Like,
say what's on your mind.
You know, it's just like it was definitely like a little bit of a thrown together event. I would say. But they were all there, and that was the first time I had seen Leah in person, the new one.
Mm-hmm. I've got a lot.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna go
let's
deep
go into that. Yeah.
Leah.
Ramona was having a very stern conversation with. She's not on the cast, but the new dark-haired
Elyse Slain.
Elyse Slain. Like they were.
That's another one we got to put
a convo.
Yeah.
And then I also went to Sonia's launch at Century 20 or not? No.
Oh yeah, Century 21
store downtown. Again, they were all. Jill was there with her dog. Leah for some reason. Leah was walking around the party with Jill's dog in her arm, which was an interesting moment.
That's amazing.
It looked like Dorinda and Ramona were buddy there. So I think whatever fight we see in this trailer, they must get over, which like always happens in New York. They get over it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then I also went to this Halloween party at the Aventi Hotel that Luann I think Luann was
The one where they're all in costume.
Yeah, Luann was hosting it.
That was the one where Leah's grabbing the octopus?
I think
in the
so.
trailer?
Yes, and
Okay.
I was walking up to that party to get in, and like you could tell that somebody was about to come down the stairs because like there was a camera waiting, there were producers coming first, and it was Sonja. She was like leaving the party.
Amazing.
She didn't seem mad, but she was like leaving kind of early on the early side. It was on Halloween, so yeah, like I'm excited. It's just like I just love that.
One event that I was at and technically part of was in the trailer. The one where we recapped it on an episode of Out in the Wild. It's the scene in the trailer where Luann says, I didn't fuck the pirate.
Oh my God. Great part of the trailer. Great part of the trailer.
It was like
what was
this,
that event? What does it say? It said like something.
Oh, it says Chanel in the City.
Chanel
That's
in the City.
that's a colleague of mine, a friend of mine. We have mutual friends. She knows Luann and got Luann to host this event, and like Jacques was there, and he will definitely be seen on.
Oh, for sure. I heard that too. Yeah. But no Jill. I kind of think that it's sort of. I think that they've like made this. It sounds like. It feels like they've made the decision to like not ever like officially bring her back in like a big capacity, and I think that like. You can only like use Jill Zarin to like tease, like to get excitement up like so many times.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? It's
third
like,
time.
Would people really freak out about her being included in the trailer this year? I don't think so. Unless they had addressed Bethenny and used that as like a moment, but you know.
Listen, I could have used it.
Oh, I'm not saying I wouldn't have
I
taken it. I
always want to see her.
But I don't think that it would have like garnered like the same excitement as it did the first time it happened, obviously.
Totally. So further examining this trailer, what are your thoughts on Leah McSweeney?
I think she seems like she's going to be a fun presence. She kind of feels like a good foil for Tinsley. Like they'll get along, but like they're different enough that it's not just like a clone of her.
No, they are so different.
They're so different.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think that like it was clear they wanted to bring in like another like woman who was like on the younger side of the spectrum.
Totally.
I think she seems cool. Like I like her energy. It looks like she gets into it with Dorinda at one point, and like when Dorinda's yelling at her, she's like taking off her jacket, and I'm like, okay, get
very
the fuck
Mob
into
Wives,
it.
yeah.
Which like maybe it's like a little Mob Wives, maybe it's a little like Jersey vibes, but
yeah,
I'm into it kind of.
I've listened to a bunch of interviews that she's done, or she's guest. So she has her own podcast, and because she's kind of made a name for herself through her clothing line that she's had for a very long time. She has guested on countless podcasts, like The Breakfast Club, which is that's a radio show.
That's a huge radio show.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
She's guested on there. She's guested on The Brilliant Idiots. She's been on, if you put in YouTube, Leah McSweeney, you will see her pontificating on so many subjects. I can't even wrap my head around it.
What's your kind of read on it? On her.
I love her.
Yeah.
I love her on a podcast.
Yeah.
I love her like being interviewed and just like throwing her a subject and like hearing her talk. I think she's got in it. She's smart. Like she
totally. No, she definitely is like she has her head on her shoulders, I think. But she's also willing to have fun, clearly.
So an interesting thing about Leah, and she's written about this too. She's written a bunch of articles and I've read those as well. Something that's interesting, she was sober for I think 12 years and started drinking again maybe a month or so before she was cast.
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Do you think that had any connection to being cast on the show?
I don't know. She talked about...
that's really interesting because we all know that like alcohol, it's more fun to watch when there's alcohol involved, but I also like... And it doesn't seem like it's like going to play a problematic role in it for her, at least from what we can tell.
So in listening to her show, because I've listened to like a bunch of episodes, like I listened to the one where she tells her co-host that like she had a glass of wine and she was actually like totally fine with it and like feeling like centered about it. And then this is funny. I watched I have no idea how I landed on like her cameo page or why she even has a cameo.
I don't ask questions like that because I find myself in those same holes. Okay. So
I watched like the first cameo that she ever did. It's the only one I've watched. She's talking to a person and basically saying like, she uses a phrase from AA, something, I should pull it up. She uses a phrase from AA, kind of like, it's a phrase that they use.
Right.
And she says, oh, I know what it is. It's something to the effect, it only works if you work it. Like work the steps because they work, but it only works if you work it. And then she goes, except for me. Or she basically says that like, she excuses herself that like she can drink now.
That's like a really, I mean, if she thought it was time and she thought she would be okay.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to get into it a little bit with Dorinda, where it's like, you have a problem again. Like that looks like another recurring situation.
I think they are going to be, I think she seems so open. Like in all of these video interviews I've watched and her show, everything, she seems an open book. I feel 100% confident that she's going to talk about this on the show.
And like kind of open it and then like kind of apply it on Dorinda.
I mean, that is an amazing thing to show
for sure.
on television.
That you could, yeah, and it's also with Luann. It's like we see that moment where, I mean, like going into the season, she was still on probation. I think that went up in like September.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is right around when filming started. And I think there was a little bit of a question whether she was going to like try to stay sober past that. You know what I mean?
Well,
which she clearly doesn't.
Yeah.
Because she's drinking vodka in the trailer.
She was, I mean, between me, you, and
the listeners,
she was drinking while she was on probation.
I mean, and I don't like not believe that, you know, but I think like in the broader scheme of things, like there would be like articles about her where it'd be like, well, she's like sober, and it's like, well, she's on like she's still, you know, quote unquote on probation. Yeah. But yeah, I think Leah having that story is an extremely good,
incredible
thing to kind of contrast with Luann, as we kind of could see her starting drinking it on camera.
And Dorinda,
yes, who's never like really. I mean, Bethenny tried to tackle that when they went. Where did they go? To Puerto Rico together. Like obviously, it's been brought up multiple. Like it's pretty much brought up every single season at this point.
The scene where Ramona is like saying
you have a problem.
Yep. It was it was so reminiscent, saying like she was almost like there was like a desperation in Ramona's voice. It was so reminiscent to me of the scene last year in Miami when Bethenny was confronting Luann about using the drinking as like a crutch.
Oh yeah.
It had that.
There's the same emotion there, and it's like there's definitely a deja vu quality to that clip we see in the trailer, like a total deja vu quality, and not in like a way like, oh, we've been here, like in a way that's like, oh my god, like it's still a thing they're gonna notice with her and like bring up and try to, I don't know.
I mean, I'm interested to see if, you know, they keep saying, you know, Dorinda's going through something. I'm interested to see how open she is about the breakup with John. Mm-hmm. And perhaps she can shed light on what that relationship was. And,
for sure. And sort of like, and also like the kind of situations that relationship put her in. Because they clearly partied together. You know, like they like loved like going out together. And
it was addressed on the show. Like,
for sure. Yeah, like that was like to me, like it seemed like sort of what their relationship was built on. And so with him out of the picture, what does it look like for her? I
think that's going to be fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
to watch.
For sure.
As far as that scene where Leah's like taking off the jacket, they've all been real vocal about how much they love Leah.
Except, did you see today?
No.
A lot. Okay, so you know how they've been, all those like housewives have been doing that like link in bio thing?
Oh, it's troubling.
Yeah, it's really troubling. I think they're all clearly getting paid by some service, and their social.
It just seems like a total scam.
All their social media managers are like doing this for them. Probably, I'm pulling this.
It's always a link to absolutely nothing.
To nothing, or it's like an Us Weekly story or something.
Weird.
But basically, I mean, maybe this was just like a clickbait thing, but I think some people were reading it. It's like oh wait, like I don't think Dorinda likes Leah. Dorinda posted the cast picture from this year, and it said prepare to be shocked. The comments are turned off, and it has an emoji over Leah's face.
Oh, that is so weird.
You know, we all know
that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
But like, I just saw some chatter on Twitter because the comments are turned off, so you can't really see how people are reacting on Instagram. But I saw some people on Twitter reading it as like not just like teasing like who the new person is, but like she's blocking her out of the photo.
Well, that's weird.
What were you gonna say?
Late in filming, like one of the last like things they filmed, I was actually at. It was like the 15th anniversary for Married to the Mob, which is Leah's clothing, which was a party that like I can still like smell the weed on my clothes.
Oh my god.
The party was crazy, and I'll recap it here on Out in the Wild when, you know, around the time that it's about to air. But Dorinda was at that party and could not be more in love with Leah.
Interesting. I mean, then maybe it's not a shady thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like a clickbaity thing. But I just definitely saw that conversation a little bit.
Yeah.
And definitely at BravoCon, they all like loved her.
Yeah. I was shocked that they brought her out of BravoCon.
She came out in her like off-white dress, and it was like,
oh my God, I know.
I mean, I was here for it, but I was also like, okay.
She's gonna be wearing just like those like Supreme
so much
knockoffs.
streetwear.
Yes.
Iconic. Honestly, I'm ready for it.
Let's get into Elyse Slain.
Okay.
What
do you know about her?
Too much.
Oh my God.
I mean, if you just do like a light Google on her, like the internet like throws up at you. Like basically she was married to this hedge fund guy, and he was one of like the most successful like hedge funders around. They got divorced, and then there was some scandal like around him, and then there was another scandal where it was publicized that she wasn't paying some workers that were doing something in her apartment.
Okay.
And also maybe not paying a nanny, like some
sketchy business.
Some sketchy business, but definitely that line that Sonja says, "I wasn't a trophy wife."
Yes, that's to her, right?
Yeah, and I hope they dig in, because this is the only interesting thing about Elyse Slain is this ex-husband. However much they can, she's remarried now and like very happy. I talked to her at a few of the events that I went to during filming. And so that's her like background. But what's interesting, so she was originally brought on as a friend of, and midway through filming, she was brought on as a friend of Ramona's.
Right.
Midway through filming, I don't know why, Ramona turned on her. And Ramona will not speak to her. She told me this.
Did she stick around for filming?
Okay, so here's the thing.
Because if she's Ramona's friend, and what do you know?
Okay. So at the Married to the Mob, the 15th anniversary, and I'll get into this.
Save some of the tea for
I'll save some of it for when I recap that event. But she kept going up to the producer, like various producers. This was over the span. Like we got there at like maybe 7:00. I didn't get out of there till like midnight.
Oh my God.
This was like a party, like a
legit party, not like a classic taped housewife party. That's like not actually a party.
It started out as a fake one, and then once they were able to like play the real music, and like the weed came out, and like the real alcohol came out,
and they were still filming, or no?
No,
they stopped filming.
They ripped down the lights so they could like dim the lights.
That happened at the Halloween party too.
Did like real
like started to actually like amp up. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I was like, I am alive. This is New York City. I was like, this is a night out. Wow.
I love that for you.
I was like, God damn.
I'm jealous I wasn't there.
It was like Sonja spilled an entire bottle of vodka on my like hand, like by
honestly,
accident.
I hope you never washed that hand.
She was like on another planet.
Yeah.
What was the point of this? Elyse.
Yes. Okay. Elyse, going out to producers.
Elyse was so unhappy during the filming of that. Kept going up to producers, and this was also right after the Mexico trip. So at first when I talked to Elyse, I said, "Why weren't you in Mexico?" And she was basically like, "Ramona won't talk to me." And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "I don't know." She's like, "I don't know what I did."
And I mean, like, I believe that, like, that Ramona would just like decide.
Yeah.
You know?
So
unless she heard something, I don't know.
I don't know. And so she was like, "So I just went away with my husband." That's what she said.
Wow.
And then as it got later, I would see her repeatedly going up to this producer while they're like taking down the lights and like, you know, it's a whole production.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. They put in like moving cameras, and yeah.
It takes like an hour to like set up and then break down. So during that, I went up to the producer, one of the producers, and I was just like chit-chatting with him, and I said, like, I was like, "Why is Elaine like upset?" And he said, "She's pissed because she's not mic'd."
So she's like probably going to be like a first half player. And honestly, is she even going to be an official friend of?
I don't know.
Or is she going to be a guest or whatever?
That's the question.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
She's really not like introduced in the trailer, really. She's like in the shots sometimes, but I don't even know if she speaks in the trailer. Does she?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody last night, which at this event that I'll get into, because I think you're gonna. it's pretty entertaining. I have some entertaining tidbits. There were some housewives there.
Okay.
And it was a thing.
Oh, I know what event you're talking about.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. And I was talking to Dave Quinn.
Yeah, from People.
Who's like an
Yeah,
amazing,
great guy. Yeah.
Great fucking guy. And like follow him on Twitter, follow Gibson on Twitter, follow everybody on Twitter.
Yes.
But
he's one of like the Housewives newsbreakers.
Total. Actually,
Yeah.
I was surprised that he didn't get the exclusive for this.
I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes ET gets it. You know?
Yeah.
And that's Bryce Sander, another great follow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except, you know what? He hosted, this is like a total like sidebar. I've never met Bryce. He's in LA. He hosted he was the moderator for the Beverly Hills panel at BravoCon, which I give an F to.
That was not a great panel, but I don't think it was his fault, because I think that panel, the Beverly Hills.
Were you there?
Yeah.
In the room?
I was there, and it was,
Okay.
I did not enjoy it, but I didn't blame him for it. I blamed them. They brought like terrible energy. It was so clear that Denise was not on good terms with the rest of the cast.
And this was before we
they
knew.
They were giving
Yeah.
like one word answers. Everyone wanted to know about Lisa Vanderpump. Obviously, when you're going to open it up to the fans, they're going to fucking ask about that. And they all were like, we don't want to talk about that.
So you think his hands were tied?
No, I think that he was told before he went on stage, like, we're not talking about Lisa Vanderpump, and you're not going to ask about it. And if the fans ask about it, you're going to shut it down.
He had a tough job.
Yeah, no, he had a really tough
Yeah.
job. I don't, it was, but it was not a great panel.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing I went to all weekend. But
Yeah.
oh my God, it was painful.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Why did I bring up Dave Quinn?
You were talking to him at the event. You were talking to him about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This was it. The idea
Yeah.
of whether Elyse will ultimately wind up as
a friend or a guest.
A friend or a guest. He was telling me how in one of the first seasons of Dallas, they had a friend of filming with them for a while. They wound up cutting her. So they ultimately cut around her. She'll be in some.
It's impressive they can even do that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's like, remember, she was there was a woman on this trip.
I think I remember a dinner picture actually
Yeah.
of a woman that was there and expecting her to be on it and her not being on it. But yeah,
I know in Atlanta they have a galaxy of
Atlanta's
guests.
there's 12 of them at this point.
I mean, I feel like if I took a flight to Atlanta, I would be
you'd
a
run
guest.
into one of them.
Yeah.
Right? you'd definitely see the cookie lady.
Oh my God. So that's the story with Elyse Slain. So there's a lot. I'm curious to see what role she ultimately plays.
It sounds like it's I don't know. If Elyse didn't know why Ramona wasn't talking to her, to me that signals that Ramona just disengaged. There wasn't really a blow up. So it's like not really drama worth them getting into. That's what my hunch would say. But it's interesting. Again, it's interesting that they can bring somebody in like that and then essentially like, you know, cut them out of
make them disappear.
anything significant.
I mean, let's see. I'm curious. Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
no, I'm
let's
curious.
see
And,
what-
and if she's actually good friends with Ramona, like, and there's an actual falling out, like, I'd hope that it's filmed.
No, there is a legitimate falling. Like,
right, but it's
that-
like
yeah.
if she has no idea what it's about, then it's like, I don't know.
She didn't know that. She was like
Crazy.
upset. Like when I was talking to her,
Right.
she was like, I don't know. She seemed like not a happy camper.
Wild.
That's that.
Uh-huh.
So something that is a buzzkill in all of this. This is like a sea of excitement. Something that is a buzzkill,
Yeah,
and we're
what
all
is
gonna
it?
have to deal with.
I'm scared.
No, don't be scared. This is just a fact.
It's a reality.
This is going to be a reality, and this
Okay.
is a fact of life. Okay, the premiere date is Thursday, April 2nd, which means this show is airing on Thursday nights,
Ugh, I hate that.
which I hate.
No. You lose a lot of the live tweeting. You lose a lot of the people that do stuff on Thursday nights.
It's bad for
You want a
recapping.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
That's how I feel.
You want a Tuesday, Wednesday.
I think Monday,
Or
Tuesday,
even-
Wednesday.
Yeah, I actually don't even hate. No, Sunday can be hard if there's big events. But like, yeah, we need it early in the. Oh fuck! Is it going to take some? It could take somebody's slot later on, but I think Jersey will be done by then.
Of course, Jersey's going to be done.
Yeah, Jersey's
mid-March.
done soon.
Like I guess
Could it
they'll-
take Summer House's spot at some point? I'm like, oh, I hope they move it to Wednesdays. Didn't they move one of them recently?
They
moved New York last year.
They moved New York last year,
Yeah.
but I don't know why they wouldn't start out strong on
I
a
know
Wednesday
that's
night.
crazy, and that's I hate to say, but that is a sign that like they aren't as confident in the season, in my opinion.
Seriously,
If they're giving it a bad slot,
but this is
it's New York.
this is New York.
I know, but like
So I guess Beverly Hills is going to get Wednesday.
For sure.
Or Tuesday.
And Beverly Hills gets a lot better ratings.
Yeah,
it just does. Like, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but I don't agree with why. And
we'll talk about that.
I mean, I think that, I mean, we all know Puppygate was like not the most enthralling television last year. And it was like pretty, like, I like hated last season of Beverly Hills, like with a burning passion.
Wow.
I was like, and it felt so long, and because it was just like, Andy apparently said that this season of Beverly Hills is gonna be like amazing, but
they say that
every year, but I actually kind of believe him with this Denise and Brandy stuff. But like,
listen, unless they're fucking in the trailer, what is gonna be in this trailer? A 2 minute and 30-second
God.
like them like make it, unless
I absolutely need like the beginning of the trailer to be like a dramatic flash forward, and it's like 3 months earlier.
I mean, pull a clip from Queer as Folk or The L Word and just say that's the trailer, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. So, but it gets like 500,000 more viewers a week than New York does.
So why do you think?
It was Elisa Vanderpump of it all. It was the intrigue. They were pushing that so hard. I mean, historically, Beverly Hills is an amazing franchise, but I think it last season just like completely went off the rails and like was just like, I don't know. I'm actually excited for Beverly Hills. I just like,
me too.
I think that them giving that time slot to New York is like, hurts my heart.
It hurts my heart.
I'm still excited for it. It's still gonna be amazing, but like that is not the best sign in the world. You know, because how many people watch Project Runway on Thursday nights? I love Project Runway, but it's not their biggest show right now.
Yeah.
You know, Thursday's not the like, we put our money, you know, our cash cow on Thursdays. We don't do that. You know, but Beverly Hills and Atlanta are the two that always get the prime real estate.
Yeah.
They always, you know, they drive the most.
So last night. So I was at this event. A friend of mine, a good friend of mine, she happens to be the business development director for this company called Rebag, which is it's a site, rebag.com. This is like not an ad, but it's a site where you can buy and sell like luxury designer handbags.
Right.
So my friend Lisa, she let me know about this event like a good like month ago. She said her Dorinda is hosting an event at my store. I mean, it's a chain. They have a couple of them. I guess they're national, whatever.
I'd heard about it, but I saw some photos from the event last night.
So she had let me know like a month ago, you know, this is the date. Dorinda's hosting this event. Then last week, I said, okay, like it's in my calendar. Last week, she said, okay, it's a Valentine's party. Dorinda's hosting. And she gave me the list of names that are like,
oh my God,
that are on the guest list.
Wow.
She told me Margaret Josephs on the guest. I'll tell you who was on the guest list that wound up being there. The people who showed up: Margaret,
an icon,
Carole Radziwill,
love,
an icon in my own heart.
Yes,
I truly love her.
Yeah,
in a real way.
I didn't love her on her last season, but I love her.
I still love her.
No, I still do.
And Bethenny's my number one.
Right. No, I mean you can like both of them for sure. I just didn't love Carol's
like I get nervous around her. Like I've never met her.
Oh, I've interviewed her before.
Oh my
She's
God.
Great.
Oh, you interviewed her?
Yeah.
For AOL?
Yeah, like 2 years ago. It's not on video, but it's
How was she in person?
That was when she was like kind of going through her like fashion renaissance, and she was like wearing this like
the vibrator on her.
Yeah, sure. And that was like when she had chopped her hair off, and she was working this new stylist who I know, and she was wearing this like, she was hosting like some like event, I forget what it was, but she was wearing this like floral like pantsuit. And she had like her chopped hair, and like we just like chatted in the corner for like 15 minutes, and it was like, I was like, oh, I just want to ask you everything, but I know I can't ask you everything.
You know, I was having brunch like not 3 weeks ago at Laura Fish Bar. She walks in with Adam.
Wow. Was he so tall?
They were and I love him as well.
I mean,
like
what's not to love?
I'm gay and I have like a man crush on him. Like
I mean, what's not to love?
I love him. And she came in first, and then so I was like internally like buzzing, and then he came in. I was like, I have to stand up. And then they were joined by like a friend of hers who I always see like on her social media.
Oh yeah,
this guy Eric.
Okay.
A lot of people are probably rolling their eyes, like they're probably just like, we fucking hate Carole. Like, what the hell's what's wrong with you? But
I think she's a great. I love her.
I love her. So she was there last night. God. Again, I couldn't speak to her because I know my place in the world.
I love that. Can I say I love that Dorinda and Carole are still clearly friends. Carole was
God.
I was at Dorinda's Valentine's Day party last year.
Where was it?
At the top of her apartment building.
Oh my God.
And Carole was there, and she was off the show then. And it's like they clearly they still have a good friendship. I love that.
So and who else showed up?
I know the other one.
D'Andra.
Yes.
D'Andra showed up, who was not on any list, but she was not on the list.
I'm sorry, but that's a little bit of story.
Okay, so
oh my God, how was her haircut?
It's
okay. That haircut. Come on.
Listen.
Have you seen that on Had you seen that on Instagram?
I've seen it on real life. Yeah, last night.
I just.
Oh wait, I have to tell you something about the hair. Okay,
God.
So we interviewed her for Alma Wild at the beginning of January. So she's been here. She's been here. So
she sat in this seat. This is a
her ass has been exactly where you are. So she sees me. She's like, Jess. She gives me a big hug. She's like, what do you think of my hair? Like she was really like feeling me and like into me.
That's nice.
We chatted for like a good 10 minutes.
I love that. A lot of them aren't going to be like that, and so that's nice that she was like that.
Oh yeah, I think it's because I was like, oh, like what are you doing here? She came to New York for New York Fashion Week, and I guess she's close with Margaret, so I think Margaret
interesting
gave her the info about this party, and so that's that with D'Andra. Oh, she did tell me that I was saying like, oh, how's New York Fashion Week? And she told me that at a show earlier yesterday, somebody mistook her. Like they were saying, oh my God, you did so great in the show. They thought she was Rinna.
I have to laugh.
Because of the hair, because Rinna was wearing that long like weave.
My God.
And like D'Andra's hair was like pulled back and like you would think it's long, but it's not.
No, girl. Come on.
So I was like, oh, and she also told me, I just remember this. She also told me that somebody thought she was Margot Robbie.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yes. No, that was my reaction.
D'Andra?
I said to her,
I'm sorry. In what world?
And she was like, admittedly, like, she's like, who would think that I'm Margot
Robbie?
Robbie?
So funny.
I'm like, Margot Robbie is blonde.
Literally blonde. Oh
and also like 28.
Did you get any tea on if she's going to be on the next season, if they started filming?
No, I didn't ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up in the air.
Although Margaret had plenty to say about like they're starting to film in a couple of weeks, and
oh God, I fucking love that woman.
Yeah, she was super chatty. Yeah. Oh, so this is what I want to tell you. So my friend Lisa, who invited me to this event, like she's part of like the VIP like business development like concierge. She told me just like when we were off to the side that Bethenny is currently like her #1 client right now.
Like, as in she's selling a lot on there?
She sells.
Interesting.
Well, they sell it privately. She's not like she'll sell it
but
to.
she, right.
She has a direct
she
relationship.
Gives them the bags to sell.
And then she gets store credit.
Oh.
So she can buy like new stuff.
Honestly, good for her.
Lisa, my friend, told me, I was like, have you met Bethenny? I mean, she lives right there in Soho. This event was at their Soho store. She told me that. She's like, no, I've never met Bethenny. She goes, I deal exclusively with her assistant. And she said the email address is bfassistant3 at, I guess, gmail.com.
Oh my God. So there's been a 1 and 2.
Are you?
Or there's probably
she has 3 assistants.
Oh, I was thinking that like she just all got like
she killed
there's
the
been
1
3.
and 2.
Yeah.
Is that amazing?
Oh my God.
BF
Honestly,
assistant
boss
3.
bitch right there. BF assistant
and
3.
she would have. I was like,
I'll be BF assistant 4.
You know, a friend of mine we were joking about like her. We were talking like in depth about Bethenny, and my friend said that my friend is really smart. She's a lawyer, and she said, you know, that is secretly my dream job, to be Bethenny Frankel's or like Chelsea Handler's assistant.
Oh, you would just see so much.
I'm like, you would give up your career to do that? She's like, yeah. She's like, to be able to like be in the mix, give advice. Also to like any like political figure.
My old roommate went to college with the brunette. I forget her name. The brunette assistant she had like on kind of her second Housewives go around. She was always
Julie.
Yes. I think that she really liked working for Bethenny, but it was also like it's. I mean, as an assistant tends to be, obviously, but like it was like a demanding, you're never off, you don't go on vacation situation.
Yeah.
Which, like, you know, that's what part of the job, but like it just seemed like a lot.
I said, like, why isn't she here? Can you imagine being at the party with Carole and Bethenny?
Oh, that would have.
I would have like.
That would have like broken. That would have broken Bravo Twitter.
She said she would have been there, but she was in St. Bart.
With her boy, with her man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, do you know
what a life she's living right now?
Can I tell you something? I talked about this on here like a long time ago when we started this. I was on vacation in Mexico with my partner like last May. Bethenny and Paul were there. Like I did yoga alone with Bethenny.
No.
Yes.
Did you guys talk?
Did we? We talked later. Like I waited a day and a half.
Yeah, but you can't like lose your cool.
I did not speak during yoga. It was like 3 of us and the instructor.
Did you mention Housewives? Did you like acknowledge that you like knew who she was?
Finally, after seeing her several times, we talked because the show was airing at that time.
Got it.
And this was like before we knew Barbara was a total dud. I talked to her about like the homophobia.
Oh, well,
I was
real.
like, what's up with like Ramona being like a dick? And like we've had a few like laughs.
2 words, gender liquid. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I love Bethenny though. Like love. I've interviewed her several times.
How is that?
The first time was like one of the most intimidated I've ever been doing an interview with a celebrity. But it ended up being great. But I went in sort of like expecting that energy, and like she was very guarded. Her publicist was 5 inches from her face.
Did she give you anything?
The first time it was like a super branded thing. So I think I got like something like kind of like relatively good, but it wasn't like amazing. The second time I interviewed her was a quick red carpet moment. And I was only allowed one question about the Housewives.
Okay. What would you ask?
Fuck, I don't remember. It was when she opened like a Godiva store like last year or something.
Oh my God.
I think the season had just started or something.
Okay.
And then the third time I interviewed her on another red carpet, no Housewives questions. Housewives of New York was like in full swing, like last spring. Literally no Housewives questions. And, like I know her publicist like pretty well.
You're talking about Jill Fritzo?
Yeah, Jill Fritzo.
Okay.
Yeah.
She'll scare the shit out of you.
She'll scare you, and like, but like, at this point, I have a good relationship with her.
Yeah.
Because she also reps Christian Chenoweth.
Oh, cool.
And Olivia Culpa, and she has like pretty good clients, but there, it's an intense vibe.
Yeah.
But she's great, and it was Variety Power of Women, one of those events, and it was just like, we're not talking about Housewives. Then the fourth time was when she did this ASPA thing recently, and like I think they had just announced that she was not coming back, and it was like a no-go.
No Housewives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
so she remembered me, which is the first time she had remembered me, so that was great.
Oh, that's amazing.
That made me...
But you have a memorable look.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah. You are one of the more handsome, like, hosts. Wow. Oh, yeah.
I'm blushing, you guys. No. You can't see it.
Yeah, he's very handsome.
Yeah, no, but it's just, I just, like, love her. I'm going to miss her. I'm actually, like, again, I'm, like, still kind of surprised that wasn't the first thought I had watching the trailer, but I think I was just so excited.
I wonder, like...
to see Sonia make out with her dog.
Yeah. Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I've often thought, like, okay, if I could interview... Because doing the interviews was, like, my favorite thing to do.
Yes.
If I could interview Bethenny, like, would it be satisfying enough for me? Like, I've often, like, thought, like, okay, like, suppose you can interview her, but are they going to put these restrictions on it?
I don't think it would be satisfying for you. I'm just, like, gonna, like,
maybe in, like... more time has
for sure.
to pass.
No, I think it's too close. I don't think she's ready to go there at all yet. And I think that like I think she also is like obviously savvy enough to know that like people want that information. So like 1, she's gonna control the hell out of how that gets out. And 2, she's probably going to make money on it somehow. You know what I mean? We'll get a Bethenny Frankel book at some point in our lives. And
when is she going to... Or I don't think she can ever write...
we have Bethenny Frankel books, but you know what kind of
book
I want.
Yeah,
the book.
The Jessica Simpson open book.
Oh, we absolutely need open book part 2 Bethenny Frankel edition.
Like I need... Okay. John Mayer is to Jessica Simpson what Jason Hoppy is to Bethenny. I was just about
to say.
Give me a high five.
when we get that fucking Jason Hoppy. No, it's like against the law for her to talk about it right now.
But how much time has to pass?
I don't know. I hope it's
could
not
it be could it be a lifetime?
Do
we have anything to live for?
If he is actually smart, he'll put that in his agreement. like, you can't talk about this. You know what I mean? Because he's a private person at this point.
Yeah.
He doesn't want that out there. That's like part of the reason why he like didn't. I can't even get into it. But
I was at Bitch Sesh Live.
Oh my God.
A few weekends ago.
Is that when Andy showed up?
Yes. That show, yes.
Wow.
And one of the boots on the ground that went up to the mic told a story about a date she went on with Jason Hoppy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've listened to that episode.
Yeah.
Yet, but
it's good.
God, that man is a scary man. I saw him walking into Gap like 2 years ago and I was like sprinted.
Tribeca?
Away. It took, no, it was actually near here, East Village.
Okay.
And it took everything in me not to be like, leave Bethenny alone. But you know, I held it in.
Oh my God.
Because I'm a classy guy.
Do you think Bethenny, I mean, we'll round it. We'll let's take this home.
Okay.
This RHONY. Do you think Bethenny will ever come back to Housewives?
No, I don't. Mm-hmm. I don't think she'll ever come back. I think that like, I kind of think that like in the Housewives world, and this is, I don't think, unless I'm totally wrong, it's never happened before where somebody comes back a second time. Correct?
Nene?
Did she leave officially twice?
You know, I don't follow. Shame on me. I don't follow Atlanta, Nene, that world, and
Right.
I'm sure it's my loss.
I
But
think that Bethenny is not someone to come back with the tail between her legs 2 times. I just don't think I don't think that's part of her. I think that I could see her future at Bravo not being done. I could see us getting like a
producing
Bethenny getting married at some point.
Oh
like,
God.
To
Another,
or like, I mean, maybe not around a wedding, but like I kind of think we can get another solo vehicle from her at some point.
I'll take it.
No, I'll take anything from her, honestly. Like I think she's like one of the best TV stars out there, like regardless. But I don't think she'll ever come back to Housewives, which is really sad. But I just think that she's moved on, and I think that like you could kind of tell last season that like it was just like it was draining her a little bit.
Yeah.
And like,
although last year was one of her best performances.
Oh, it was great. But like, I mean, Life is Not a Cabaret monologue.
Oh my God.
That anybody would take a season off after that.
I mean, honestly, they should have aired this trailer that we're here to talk about. They should have aired that as a fucking Super Bowl commercial. Forget that dumb Sabra ad.
Oh my
that they were
God.
barely
F that.
in, by
Yeah.
the way.
F
You know, I
that.
missed it. I was at a Super Bowl party. I had
It
no
was
idea.
blink and you miss.
I had no idea who even was playing the game.
Same.
My friends who were on the couch, I was like chatting, eating, whatever. I told my friends, I said, as soon as you see a Sabra commercial, please get my attention.
Drag me.
And they're like, Jess, I ran up. They're like, it's over.
It's over.
I did not.
It was so stupid. I'm sorry.
Like all
It
of
was
that
so
for
stupid.
talk about hype for
Oh my
absolutely
God.
nothing.
Oh my God, I can't.
They should have aired this either during the Super Bowl or during the Oscars, frankly.
Oh my God, quite frankly, during the Oscars. Oh my God. Yeah, and now that I think about it, the last thing about Bethenny, it's like, I'd love to know sort of what the status of her relationship is with Andy and Bravo right now is, because I think that like the timing of her announcement was just like so shitty, and like and everyone was clearly blindsided by it. Once she had made that announcement, it was clear that she was like not going to come back to BravoCon for the OG panels. And like,
oh please, she wasn't going to be at BravoCon.
No, but like I think that made it like official. Like they took her out of the BravoCon commercials, and it was just like,
was she ever in the commercials?
Yeah. Remember the commercial started every time with, it was either for BravoCon or just Bravo in general, but it was that commercial where it was like, where she said something to the effect of like ready, like let's go. You know what I mean? Like that. There's that quote that they use all the time with her. They took that out after she announced. Like the next day it aired, and that was not part of it. So I don't know. So you know, now that I say it, I think if we get a solo vehicle, it's not going to be at Bravo, which is sad.
So all in all, to wrap up, on a scale of 1 to 5, how excited are you about the new season of New York? Given this trailer,
because it's New York in general. I would bring it down to a 4 based on the trailer, just because, you know, I would like a little more drama, but like I don't need the drama. I'm happy with the comedy. Will it be an all-time best season? Like probably not. In my opinion,
it doesn't have the reason.
There's not like a grab.
The reason why, like the season 10 was so iconic, and maybe like season
9 was Mexico, and that was iconic too.
The reason why 10 was so phenomenal was because it had things that we knew about that were like in the news, like Luann's arrest.
Yeah,
kind of like the Brandy Denise thing, and or even what's going on in
or even on Summer House or on Potomac. It's like when there's reports of like a hookup or an assault or like something really bad, but like there is that real world element to it
that we know something is coming.
This season.
But it's okay.
No, it's totally okay. It's not going to be I don't think it's going to be an all timer. Which like again, New York to me is entertaining and good enough, and like it feels this like part of my life.
Totally.
That I'll take that. Like I will take, hijinks from Sonja. I will take drunken Dorinda. Like that's great. Like that's some of the best TV. Someone
who we didn't touch on, Tinsley.
Oh my God, we didn't even talk about Tinsley.
Can I tell you? I felt the most emotion watching the trailer, watching Tinsley. I felt like, actually, that's something. Her quitting mid-season, that is something. She got engaged and she moved to Chicago. That's actually
that is
kind of major.
But I think
she's authentic, and I like that.
I like Tinsley a lot, but I don't know if Tinsley is like universally like beloved. Notable is not the right word, but she's not. That story is not enough to like create that like aura around this trailer and this season. Yeah, you know what I mean.
But for some reason,
it's telling that we even forgot to talk about it. You know what I mean? God. No, but like I think that kind of tells you everything you need to know. Like I really like Tinsley. I think she's great. I think she's great on the show. It's not the most like compelling.
Yeah.
Because we know. It does. It tugs at your heartstrings.
It tugged my heartstrings. Yeah. Like that scene with Dale even.
Oh, for sure.
And when she's saying like.
We all know she's like jumping in with Scott, not necessarily with like the right intentions. Yeah. Not intentions, but the right reasoning.
She wants to get married.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To anybody. And it's.
Well, she wants to have a baby.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to get married. She wants to have a child. Which I understand. Like I get it.
Don't move to Chicago.
don't move to Chicago. She's there, baby. She's there. Where can people find you?
I have the same handle on Twitter and Instagram, Gibsonoma, Gibsonoma. I do a lot of live tweeting.
Oh, amazing.
I'm a live tweeter of Housewives and Pump Rules and Summer House. So you can follow me there on Instagram and Twitter. And that's where I post my interviews and
amazing.
All fun stuff.
I've loved chatting with you.
Me too. I loved being here, with the 3 hours notice. We made it work.
It was an emergency.
This is a true emergency.
True emergency broadcast. You guys can follow me, Jess XNYC, follow Out in the Wild podcast, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.